Hey everyone, we're going to be doing something slightly different today where I do this kind of voiceover thing and you guys watch me doing a little bit of makeup and we're going to be looking at some pictures and talking about some stuff. A little bit different, but today we're talking about makeup, so I figured I might as well show you a makeup process of mine while we do it, right? I enjoy makeup and there are many reasons why I wear it, and none of those reasons are bad or to be looked down on. Since I started my YouTube channel, I've always got a lot of feedback about my makeup and what I wear and how much I wear and how I wear it. But more recently, it's got a lot kind of nicer and more positive, and it's absolutely lovely to hear, and I really do appreciate it. However, there's still a minority of people who seem to see me wearing makeup as a sign of weakness and attempt to target that. I might add that it's mostly men who do that, so take from that what you will. But for me, enjoying makeup and the process of applying makeup and wearing makeup is not a sign of low self-esteem. And it doesn't affect my ability to think critically or care about people, and in that respect, it doesn't impact anything I have to say or the hours of work and research I put into my videos. I could not wear makeup and still produce the same videos. It's just I choose to wear it because, you know, it's fun, and why not? I'll admit there are some times when I use makeup to make, I guess you could say, the reality of my face more in tune with what I feel I should look like in my head. It's not exactly a self-esteem thing, it's more of a wanting to be my authentic self kind of thing. So for example, in my head, I've always seen myself as having dark hair, despite the fact that my natural hair colour is this. And I always picture myself as having dark, bold eyebrows, whereas in reality, my brows are light and sparse and they look a bit silly without makeup, I think. It's silly, but something as small as shaping my brows and filling them in can make me feel so empowered and so comfortable and so confident, make me feel so true to myself and so at home in my body. It's a small thing, but it really does help. And that's not to say I'm reliant on those processes to make me feel good. I'm not. It's more of like a bonus, you know? It's like how I define a central part of my identity as being the fact that I love reading, right? And I read a hell of a lot, and that's kind of part of who I am. And it really brightens my day to read a book, and, you know, my days feel better and more complete, and I enjoy them more when I get time to sit down and read. But I don't feel self-conscious if I don't read for a couple of days, you know? And it's the same with eyebrows. I feel amazing when I have my eyebrows done, but I don't in any way feel inadequate when I don't. For me personally, wearing makeup isn't about making myself look pretty or appealing or pretending to be something I'm not. It's more about having fun, creating something artistic that looks incredible, and my face just happens to be the canvas. That's why I often enjoy playing with like bright colours and unnatural colours and glitter and all these different textures and stuff. A lot of people leave me comments telling me I'd look better if I went for pinks or browns or muted greys instead. They tell me, you know, ditch the blue lipstick, ditch the green eyeshadow. And yeah, they have a point. I'm sure I would look better by society's conventional beauty standards if I did those things. But that's not my goal with so much of the makeup that I wear. It's about having fun and expressing myself, and I don't have to look good for anybody else to do that. I just need to find a way to express myself and put it on my face. I don't need to look beautiful or like a model or whatever. I just need to feel good. And I just need to enjoy the process of applying the makeup. That's all there is to it for me. The makeup I wear isn't for anyone but myself. For those of you who know me personally, or if you've met me, you'll know that I genuinely don't wear a lot of makeup in my day-to-day life, which I think shocks a lot of people. I do get a lot of comments of people being like, oh, I dare you to post a photo without makeup, I dare you to do this. And I'm like, mate, do it every day. I mostly just don't feel the need to wear makeup consistently, but I think another big thing is that I really enjoy the process of putting on makeup, and I don't want to lose that feeling by turning it into a chore. I would rather wear makeup when I have the time to sit down and apply it properly and play around and have fun with it and really take my time, instead of when I feel like I have to wear makeup. I don't want time restraints and I don't want pressure, and like I say, I don't want it to feel like a chore because that's going to take the fun out of it for me. I guess it's like with all my hobbies, you know? Before I leave the house every day, I don't feel the need to sit for half an hour and play PlayStation, or sit for half an hour and paint a picture, so I don't feel the need to sit for half an hour and put makeup on my face either. All that said, we can't deny that makeup can be a bit of a self-esteem boost, and it can help us, I guess, deal with certain insecurities we have. For example, I can use lipsticks to help my wonky lips look a little bit more symmetrical. I can apply my eyeliner at the right angle to stop my eyes from looking so tiny. A little bit of carefully placed contour can stop my forehead looking so wide or my nose so big. But they don't cure those flaws, they don't take them away, and if you're insecure about them, those insecurities are still going to be there no matter how much makeup you put on top of it. So I had to be okay with those flaws and my face before I let myself change them in any way with makeup. And this is just a personal thing, but I didn't ever want to feel like I was just covering up and hiding my problems. I wanted to address them and accept them and know that these certain physical features that I have, they might not be perfect, but they're still a part of me. Hiding them would do nothing to help anything. If anything, I'd just become more reliant on the process of hiding them, and that wouldn't be healthy. I worked hard for a long time to realize that while my face isn't perfect, and not everyone's gonna like it, that's not a bad thing. It's just a thing, a neutral thing, because I'm so much more than just my face. And it means a lot more to me that people like me as a person and respect me as a person and know that I try and be a good, kind person. That means more to me than knowing what people think of my face, whether they like it or not. That said, I know how difficult it is to get to a point like that. It can be so hard to feel that way. And even for me now, I have bad days and difficult days, and it's not easy all the time. Especially when it comes to things like browsing Instagram or YouTube, you see so many constant images of these perfect, flawless women, and you think, why don't I look like that? Or, well, yeah, I've accepted my flaws, but these women don't have any at all. Like, how unfair is that? I felt this way a hell of a lot when I was younger, and it really messed me up for a long time. I was an insecure wreck, and I hated so much about myself. It was really unhealthy. It took a hell of a lot of time and effort and work for me to stop comparing myself to other women, and it took even more work to then stop feeling inferior to them. The big thing to remember is that most of what you see online is intensely curated. It's not natural. It's not normal. You don't get the boring bits of everyday life. You never see the full picture, ever. Even with the people who try and claim you do. You're still just seeing the highlights. Don't compare your low days with other people's highlights. I know a lot of people talk about this now, but for the people who still aren't hearing it, here's a little secret. When your average influencer posts a photo on Instagram, chances are that photo is the result of hundreds of pictures they've taken before and after it with fancy lighting setups and fancy cameras. They've probably spent at least 20 minutes picking out the most flattering picture, and then they crop it, they color correct it. They might even Photoshop it a little, you know? They make their waist thinner, their legs longer. They make their jawline stronger, they get rid of some of their puppy fat, they make their eyes bigger, their teeth whiter, their skin smoother, they cover up stretch marks and spots and stray eyebrow hairs, and they wipe away any cuts or bruises or scratches or cellulite on their skin. And only then, after that whole process, do they post it. And sometimes they have the cheek to add a little hashtag no makeup or hashtag all natural. Okay, I joke on that last bit. Kind of, some people do it, but you know. Not everyone. But my point is, it's important to recognise that for every picture you see that you might think is candid or natural or it shows the real them, chances are it's still a highlight. Chances are it's still curated. And it's so important to take the time to recognise this and know how to recognise it and not to let it make you feel insecure. On a personal note, I do make a conscious effort to try not to be a part of perpetuating this. But it's not always easy, you know. As a person who does have followers, I've become a lot more aware of the kinds of things that I post online. I've also become a lot more confident in posting photos of myself, like, without makeup and stuff. Not only because I feel okay to do that now, but also because I feel kind of like I owe it to you guys. I don't want to pretend I'm anything more than I am. I want to try and show the real side of me. And so I post photos without makeup. I never Photoshop my images to alter like my face or my body shape or anything like that. I'll be honest, there are times when I've like Photoshopped out like a massive spot on my face or something like that. But I normally tell you in the caption when I've done that because, you know, transparency. But that said, you have to remember that even with someone like me trying to be as transparent and open as possible, you have to remember that when I post images like this photo, that is the result of about half an hour's worth of makeup application, a fancy lighting setup, and about 50 photos. that's not just a candid, "ooh, I rolled out of bed" thing. Just because I'm not photoshopping my photos, it doesn't mean they're 100% real representation of what I look like all the time. They're not. That's what I look like for about 4 hours a week. That's it. The rest of the time, I look like this. I definitely find it's a kind of delicate balancing act, or you kind of like toe the line sometimes when deciding what to post. Because on the one hand, I don't want to make my distinctly average life seem fancier or more perfect than it is, or pretend I have no flaws, because that's just not true, is it? You know, I say it a lot, but I am just a regular girl from a regular working class family who's worked incredibly hard to get where she is, and I'm incredibly grateful for the life I currently have. But it's not some fairy tale. I want to try and be as real and authentic as possible with you guys, whether it comes to like YouTube or Instagram or whatever. But on the other hand, I don't exactly want to constantly document my flaws and my low points, because for one thing, that seems incredibly unhealthy and of no benefit to me personally. I mean, it might show you guys I'm human, but I honestly don't want to be constantly reminded of every time I felt sad or had some massive spots or got food stuck in my teeth or cried for 4 hours. I don't want to be reminded of that every time I open, I don't know, my Instagram app or whatever. So I guess my point is finding that line between posting the real stuff and posting the fun, happy stuff is tough. And so I guess the kind of point that I want to end this on is just to remind you all to just be aware of reality. When you scroll through Instagram or YouTube or even Facebook or Twitter or whatever, but remember, you're not seeing real life, you're seeing the highlights. But at the same time, while you are seeing the highlights, don't necessarily make assumptions about the people that you're seeing, and don't think you know them just because they happen to be wearing a certain type of clothing or a certain type of makeup, or they're not wearing makeup, or they are, or they don't, whatever. When you see someone wearing a lot of makeup, maybe it's not that they have low self-esteem, maybe they just enjoy it. When you see someone barefaced and makeup-free, maybe it's not that they don't have skills or that they don't care about their appearance. Maybe it's just that they fancied a day off, or they don't have time for makeup, or they weren't in the mood that day. There's lots of things, and you can't make these big assumptions about people just from seeing little snapshots of their life online. And that's why you can't compare yourself to them either. I know I've said it before, but I'll keep saying it. Don't compare yourself to others. Yes, use others as inspiration and motivation to keep growing and improving and learning, but if you're going to compare yourself to anything or anyone, compare yourself to your past self, and always be improving who you are instead of aspiring to be someone else. I don't know, maybe this got a little bit preachy, and maybe it got a little bit away from me. I don't know, I didn't really have a plan with this video. I just kind of wanted to talk generally about makeup and self-esteem and looks and photoshopping and all sorts. It's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and I haven't really known how to do it. But I don't know, anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It'd be great to hear from you. As an update, because I completely forgot to post it anywhere, and being in Texas and moving house has kind of screwed over my timeline and schedule, and everything's all over the place. But the winners of my giveaway have been messaged on Instagram, and I think they've all got back to me, and I'm working on sending out your prizes as soon as possible, and I'll do like a little announcement with your names and stuff once they're all sent, and everything's gonna be good, don't worry. I am working on things. I'm a bit of a mess at the minute, I'll be honest. No, I'm not. Things are slowly coming together, it's just very chaotic. Anyway, I'm shutting up. I hope you kind of don't mind me mixing things up a little bit with a kind of video like this. But yeah, thank you for watching today, let me know what you think, and hopefully I will see you guys again soon. Thank you so much to everyone supporting me on Patreon this month, with a special thank you going to Data Jack, Gambit and Chauffeur, Liv's Pantyhose Addiction, Christian Berg, Jadeon Sheppard, Robert Korte, Peter Kyrouac, Sir Michael Moore, Christina the Atheist, Christian Opitz, Sage Villarreal, Greg Ladd and Loren Hart. You and everyone else supporting me on Patreon is absolutely amazing, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thank you so much.
Roaming for days so I don't have to go home, wasting my time listening to songs you wrote about some